I wish I could rap. I know how to rhyme, but wish I could rap. I talked about femininity before. Actually, this is interesting before I get into it. I once had an argument about the actual word femininity, whether or not it was a word or not. The way I won the argument was I said, well, what about masculinity? Masculinity. And he was like, oh shit. Oh shit. It was pretty funny. He was like a guy that was like a couple years older than me too, and he had like this pompous kind of vibe, you know. In any case, it was funny. It was on Halloween. Halloween, that was an interesting night. In any case, femininity. Where does femininity come from? Because it is so obvious, in human beings especially. And I wonder why especially it is in human beings. Females are so drastically different, and it can't be because, you know, it can't be specifically or sheerly because of natural selection, because even the unattractive women, as far as this, you know, whatever, you know, bear with me as far as what I'm saying. I'm not trying, you know, none of this shit that I'm saying is malicious or whatever, you know. So the women that are unattractive still get men because they're still unattractive men, and then they're just as likely to bear children of attractiveness as anyone else. And I think there's a trend going on also. If you look back at the people of old, women were less attractive on the whole. I mean, it's strange that it's happening nowadays. It's like every other chick, at least. I mean, 75% or something like that are attractive. And it's like we're evolving this femininity in a way that's like almost at a rapidly increasing rate. And so at this point it's so much more obvious. It's so obvious. Like, where is it coming from, and what is femininity, and where does it come from? I mean, if it would have to be an innate trait of the universe if it happens to us, obviously. It has nothing to do, I don't think, with the psychology, because that could be, that is arguable on account of culture. Women are different depending upon the culture. Pretty much everybody's different depending upon the culture, unless you are an original character. So, where does this femininity come from? I mean, is it the nature of the material existence portrayed in the the creative source, really, in the sense of regeneration and cyclical generation, is the female. She represents that. Or if we were to think of it in terms of both genders being a single species, then the species of our existence, of our the general species of human, could be the feminine, and then the actual birth giver is the most feminine. Perhaps we innately, as men, are also feminine, but to a lesser degree. Of course, I'm just at this point speculating, but I think that the nature of femininity originates in the material. In the material. The more complex, the more exotic, the more in its own nature, I guess would be the way to say it, the more in tune with its nature, the more beautiful it is. A house is less beautiful than a tree. I think we can, and a tree, a tree's blossoms are more beautiful than the whole tree itself. The more complex, the more vibrant, the more there is a picture of femininity. It is the flesh, the smoothness of flesh, the color, softness. Really, femininity is displayed very well in plants by the flower, and that's why we use it in poetry. The feminine is what we should strive for, and as men, what is masculinity? I mean, masculinity is really described as the opposite of femininity, maybe. I think innately we should strive to be androgynous, though. However, the more feminine one is, the more beautiful they are. The more open we are to enhancing our features, like how the material enhances its features by complexifying continuously. We have to draw comparisons to the universe with ourselves, because that is the only comparison we can draw. We can't use ourselves or things. You have to use nature to compare yourself. There's no other thing to do with. There's no other thing to compare with. So, but you have to. You can't just. You can't just look at the second level down from you. We have to come to the conclusion eventually that it comes from the innate matter, the thingness of the universe, and the no-thingness of the universe. These are the two opposing natures of, perhaps we could say, nothingness is feminine and masculine, and perhaps we could say the thingness is feminine and masculine. But they contrast each other. Both space is always growing. That's why it's endless, is because it doesn't have. That's why I think also the universe is expanding, because the matter of the universe is expanding, because the universe itself is expanding. In fact, it may have started as a singularity, and then just kind of the universe, because it's innately growing, the space between the matter grew. But I'm not going to deny the Big Bang Theory either. In any case, that's what's up. I think femininity is an innate trait of the universe portrayed in us, and the more a woman contrasts to the nature of men, the more beautiful she's going to be. And to enhance that is then to, so you see the women that are unattractive, and they are more masculine, and I think that's innately obvious to human beings. But regardless, I think the reasons are clear. I think feminine beauty is the most. It's just incredible. And I would like to give a shout out to a particularly beautiful girl, ScottaneseGirl. Yeah, you know who you are.